What's going on, guys? Jeff from Frightgasm here. I'm going to start doing some movie reviews, and a couple weeks ago I checked out the movie Primate, and I gotta say, that movie kind of goes apeshit. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Before we jump in, I just want to say this is a spoiler-free review, so you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. Unless you already watched the trailer, I didn't, but if it's anything like modern movie trailers, you may have actually already seen this movie. So Primate is a creature feature directed by Johannes Roberts, and it's about a girl who returns home to Hawaii for summer break. She brings some of her friends with her. She's reunited with her dad, with her sister, and their pet chimpanzee, Ben, which they have as a pet because the mom, who has passed away, I believe was doing some kind of a gorilla in the mist type stuff. And Ben ends up contracting rabies. And let's just say Ben getting rabies is a little bit different than when Old Yeller did. That's not really a spoiler because that movie came out in...
A few moments later.
1957. So, yeah. So the movie opens with a pretty rad scene to just give you a bit of a taste of what you're in store for. And then they dive into a bit of character setup and development. I'll be honest, the characters are kind of unlikable in this one. Very stereotypical. It's exactly what you would expect for a movie like this. I knew going into it I wasn't going to leave the theater expecting a new favorite final girl or something like that. They do use sign language during parts of the movie because the dad is deaf, and that ends up being something that really comes in handy later on to like add some tension to moments. So I did think that was a cool little thing that they added to this. Once Primate kicks off, it really doesn't let up. There's one scenario that maybe drags a little bit too long, but they do a really solid job of adding tension to that ordeal. You have an awesome scene later in the movie that takes place in a closet, and it's very reminiscent of Halloween, and I'd almost say a mixture of Jurassic Park as well. But yeah, there's solid tension in this movie and easily some good moments that'll have people on the edge of their seat. So one of the things I was concerned about going into this movie, because I didn't watch the trailer, I was concerned there was going to be a CGI ape, and there's not, because they used a real ape. I'm just kidding. It is a guy in a suit. So technically, it's Bigfoot? Bigfoot community might not like that joke. But no, they do a really solid job with the animatronics of the face. It's quite believable. They also were really smart with how they shot this one. Whenever Ben's on screen, he's usually positioned in a way is kind of like hunched over, just to hide the fact that apes and humans have different proportions to their legs. They also lit it in a way where a lot of that stuff is kind of hidden. Like I said, they were really smart with how they portrayed Ben on camera so that you could get away with the fact that it really is just a guy in a suit. A few times throughout the movie, there's some brief scenes where we do see his legs kind of extend, and you can definitely tell it's a guy in a suit. But again, it's very, very brief. It doesn't take you out of the movie. And again, I would prefer that over a CGI ape any day. I thought they did some cool camera work in this one. Instead of just doing a bunch of straight on shots, during some of these like tension moments, they kind of like would place the camera in parts of like the backyard where there's like leaves and foliage like kind of over the lens. It just kind of made it seem like Ben is watching our main characters. They did the same thing at times inside the main house and kind of had the camera up high, like angled down, because obviously chimps, climb stuff. But it just helped with the immersive experience a little bit rather than just seeing like these straight on shots all the time. I feel like it really added to the tension. Now, this is not Terrifier level gore, but they don't hold back during some scenes. There's some really good practical effects that they use for some of the kills, two in particular that are just badass. So yeah, if you're a horror fan, I think you'll really enjoy some of the kills in this one. Look, this movie is not reinventing the wheel. It knows what it is and it plays into that. It's loaded with horror tropes. There's a scene that's pretty much directly copy and pasted from Scream, literally Control V, Command V if you're on a Mac. It's a movie about an ape that gets rabies and it's released in January. So you gotta kind of go into it expecting some of this. The ending is pretty predictable and of course does a classic horror trope. But honestly, the issues I had with this one were overshadowed by how much fun I had with it. It definitely didn't make me want to channel my inner ape and throw poop at the screen. So yeah, I had fun with it. Also, don't do that ever. To wrap this up, I'm the kind of person that needs to be in the mood for certain horror movies, especially if it's a slow burn. Primate is a movie where you can literally just turn your brain off, enjoy a fat bowl of popcorn, and watch an ape wreck some people. If that's the kind of movie you're looking for one night, it absolutely delivers in my opinion. If you're looking for a movie that's going to invoke some deep thought and you're going to experience some like character arcs and character growth, you're not going to get that from this one. But in my opinion, It's a hell of a fun movie to kick off our 2026 movie-going experiences. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. It's my first time ever doing it, so a little rocky, but if you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Also, if you're into physical media, especially VHS, I license horror movies and put them on VHS. I've done The Last Matinee, Hell House LLC, and American Mary. They're all available on frightgasm.com, so if you're interested, you can snag them there. I'll also be dropping The Taking of Deborah Logan within the next few months on VHS, so if you like that movie, be on the lookout for it. And with that, I hope you guys get your fright on, and I'll see you in the next video.